Hai,
Halo, Franz.
halo. Ini
Oh,
gua tiba-tiba tempat duduk gua jatuh dong. Oke. Alright. Morning. Halo.
hi. It's afternoon di Bali.
Oh, lu lagi di Bali.
Iya, baru balik kemarin few days ago.
Yeay, gimana cuaca di sana?
Basah.
Lagi hujan terus kah di Indonesia?
Iya banget. I think I just had my worst turbulence flight setelah beberapa tahun deh.
Oh, iya sih memang kayak kayak this time of the year kayak gitu suka turbulence sih. Gue inget gue juga pernah waktu itu ke Indonesia kayak oh my god, that was so crazy.
Iya, gila. Ini tuh soalnya seasonnya Aquarius, the peak of the winter. Jadi anginnya tuh kenceng banget. So remind me to never fly during Aquarius season again.
Well, at least you have the choice. Well, I don't. Yes.
Cause I'm so scared of flying, kayak goyang dikit aja gue tuh udah kayak Tuhan Yesus tolong.
Oh, masa. So anyway, guys, welcome back to this episode. Welcome back to Cosmic Conversation. Hari ini kita bahas apa nih, Hen?
Hari ini karena we're gonna post this on Valentine's Day. Basi ya kalau misalnya kita cuma bahas love-nya doang, which we already covered di beberapa episode. Tapi kali ini kita akan bahas soal love and hatred gitu. Jadi kita akan bahas dari dua sisi.
Right. Jadi tuh,
Yeah.
there is a saying here in Taoism, everything has a shadow. Every bright thing has a shadow. Jadi kalian bayangin ya, sesuatu yang sangat terang itu selalu ada bayangannya di belakang. It's the same with love. So love, let's say that love is positive, right? But then the shadow of love is hatred, gitu. So Hen, can I ask you some questions? Lu pernah gak sih jatuh cinta banget sama orang kayak like so bucin ya, bener gak sih?
Ya, bucin.
Aha. Terus lu somehow ya as the time progressed you just came to hate the person. Pernah gak sih lu kayak gitu?
Aduh, hate is such a strong word ya, Franz. Honestly, sekarang when I think of it, gue kayaknya nggak pernah yang hate sampai hate banget. Karena kalau gue tau, kita samain persepsi nih. Hatred itu sebatas sejauh apa? Kalau udah bilang benci orang tuh gue berarti udah sampai misalnya secretly praying or wishing ill for the other person gitu, kayak gue sumpahin lo ini gitu, for me that's hate gitu ya. Tapi kalau misalnya cuman kayak apa ya, kayak gue sakit hati and then ya gue nggak mau berhubungan lagi sama lo, for me that's not really hate. But I don't know, what do you think?
It's kind of personal, right? Kayak
Yeah.
how we define hate kan.
Yeah.
You're right. Soalnya kalau misalnya menurut gue ya, kalau misalnya gue sama sekali udah gak mau lihat lagi orang ini di hidup dan matinya gue. Jadi itu kalau misalnya Mandarin itu ada 生死不互相欠. 生死不互相欠itu jadi artinya gue hidup atau gue mati, gue gak akan mau ketemu lagi sama lu kayak gitu. I think that's for me gitu loh.
Oke, tapi how do you know it's hatred or it's indifference? Karena kalau nggak mau ketemu lagi bisa jadi juga kayak oh gue udah nggak peduli lagi, nggak mau tahu lagi. Sebenarnya itu indifference kan, which is
Kalau misalnya menurut gue ya, kayak indifference kayak gitu tuh, it's actually a manifestation of hatred. So these two are two different things. Kayak misalnya lu pengen nyumpahin orang ini kayak like bad things happens to you. I think that's the manifestation of hatred.
Okay.
Gitu loh. I mean, of course, hatred comes in different intensity, right? Jadi mungkin kalau misalnya lu udah benci banget sama orang ini, that's the manifestation. Like you just wish ills to this person. Nah, kalau misalnya gue sih, gue bener-bener kayak I just don't wanna see you like in this life or in the next life. Really, itu sih.
Wow, oke. Nah, to answer your first question tadi, berarti jawabannya gue belum pernah lagi Karena mungkin gue belum pernah sebucin itu sama orang ya. Kayak kalau buat gue kalau misalnya nggak cocok atau apapun, di episode berapa tuh gue bilang kan kayak prinsip gue I don't want to burn bridges. Jadi kayak ya udah nggak apa-apa kalau emang nggak nyambung lagi. Gue lebih mudah membenci orang kalau ngelihat orang yang nggak mindful towards other people atau towards me gitu loh, yang bener-bener crossing boundaries, yang bener-bener yang nggak mindful gitu. Nah itu biasanya kan terjadinya justru dari misalnya dari keluarga, dari teman gitu. Tapi kalau dari konteks love as a relationship yang romantic itu I don't think so. Kalau lo gimana?
Oh my god.
Kenapa?
Okay, it's not. No, it actually is. Okay, jadi itu last ex gua nih, and you know honestly, I had never been treated so badly by anyone gitu loh. Jadinya pas gue udah putus nih, terus I really tried my best to be cordial and everything with him. Jadi tuh situasinya ya Hen ya, gue tuh meskipun udah putus masih tinggal bareng sama orang ini, gitu. Yeah. So it was kind of hard, right? But yeah. I really tried my best, you know, kayak misalnya gue beli makanan apa, I still called him like, hey, yuk kita makan bareng, let's eat together. Kalau misalnya ada teman gue datang terus bawa makanan, I would always ask him, hey, let's join us, let's eat together, like something like that. Kalau misalnya dia mau flight juga, gue pasti masih ngomong kayak, hey, have a safe flight gitu. Morning, hey, good morning. I still kind of greeted him. Nah, terus it just didn't work somehow. Like he was just like really, really cold. The thing is just it's just impolite, you know, and I kind of hated it. So one day I just like exploded, and then that moment onward, I was like, I told myself, I don't want this anymore. Like I don't want to see you in this life or in the next life if there is next life.
Lu bilang kayak gitu?
So, I just told myself, and then yeah. Eventually, when he was exiting the accommodation, I told him as well, I will never want to see you again.
Wow, takut.
Like in this life or beyond. Gitu.
Tapi
tapi apa?
Itu kan proses membencinya atau kebenciannya tumbuh itu karena bisa dibilang you were already trying to be kind, to be nice, even setelah break up, tapi nggak berbalas ya, quote unquote, he treat you like non-exist gitu ya di rumah itu. So for me that's totally makes sense. Tapi penasarannya gue adalah what could have prevented that to happen? Apakah sebenarnya kalian di awal misalnya sudah sepakat bahwa oke, kita putus, tapi kita hidup baik-baik ya satu rumah gitu? Apakah ada omongan kayak gitu?
Ada. Ada.
Oke, berarti dia layak.
Makanya gue kesel banget sih.
Iya. Oke, berarti dia layak dibenci.
Yeay. Ya, honestly Hen ya, kalau misalnya gak ada omongan kayak gitu, like I wouldn't care honestly. Cuman masanya tuh udah ada omongan kayak gitu, like hey, you know what? Let's be civil. Let's be like kind to each other. Then that happens. And I don't like it. Gitu. Tadi kan lu ngomong ya, kayak that kind of intense hatred usually doesn't come with a person whom you're involved with romantically.
Iya.
Nah, kalau misalnya ada gak sih di dalam hidup ini, lu pernah gak sih untuk benci banget sama orang, and you actually wish them harm, kayak gitu? And what actually happened?
What actually happened? Pertanyaan pertama, ada nggak? Ada banget. From family. And what actually happened? I don't know if I can go very detail into this, tapi I'll try to make this short ya, supaya ini nggak jadi ajang curhat pribadi dan apa sesi ke terapis. So in short, my parents itu kan beda agama ya.
Okay.
Yeah, so my dad is a Muslim, my mom is a Christian, and of course hubungannya tidak disetujui kedua belah pihak sebenarnya gitu. Tapi the mom side was very forgiving and very open towards my dad. Tapi my dad's side itu very rude, very harsh towards my mom gitu. And I grew up apa ya, gue harus witnessing, mendengarkan how they talk bad about my moms. Kayak pokoknya setiap kali nggak ada my mom, tapi I was there present gitu ya, kayak mereka bisa dengan gamblang ngomongin my mom kayak, you know, everything and anything can be a discussion topic. So I grew up like, can you imagine like a child growing up hearing people talk bad about his mom gitu, and even unfiltered words banget yang buat anak masih kecil tuh seharusnya tidak didengar dan tidak yang nggak wise lah gitu ya, from my grandparents, from my aunts, from my uncles gitu. So I grew up hating them so much. That's why kalau kalian ada nonton episode yang soal boundaries kan, gue bilang bahwa I already cut my relationship with the whole family. That's what happened lah gitu intinya. Gitu sampai sekarang gue juga kayak even ya, ada om gue yang suka WhatsApp kayak, kamu apa kabar, om kangen nih, nenek juga kangen gitu, my grandma from my dad side kayak video call dong. Gue nggak even reply. I don't really care. For me they're just non-existent anymore gitu.
Okay. Itu mereka telepon kangen kayak gitu, biasanya ujungnya duit gak sih?
Biasanya ya, tapi makanya gue juga nggak mau bother to know lagi sih.
Actually ya, I mean that totally makes sense. Karena kalau misalnya gue dari cerita lu ya, misalnya kayak ini, hai, iya nenek om kangen nih, I was like, you just want something, babe. Like, come on, let's just be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Kayak, where have you been all this time gitu kan?
Exactly.
Kalau lu dari sisi romantik doang atau ada dari area lain dalam kehidupan yang lo juga pernah atau masih benci banget?
Enggak sih ya, soalnya gua sih, okay, bukan benci ya. Wait, let me think if I actually hate her.
So it's a her.
It's a her. Okay, you know, I was just very hurt, like borderline to hate. Ini kayaknya gue udah pernah share sih, like one of my aunts called me fat and ugly. Terus I was like so hurt. Nah, cuman tuh gua si rasa benci, rasa sakit hati itu gua ganti jadi something that is motivating me to work out, like to stay healthy. So you know, that kind of begs questioning. Hatred itu, tadi kan gua ngomong ya, every bright things has their shadow. Nah, sekarang ini kalau misalnya gue pikirin, apakah rasa benci itu always something negative, or is it something that can be positive? Tergantung kita gimana cara pakainya. Karena kalau misalnya gue pikir sih ya, gue misalnya diomong ini gendut dan jelek, fat and ugly. Cuman gue ubah si rasa benci dan rasa gak suka ini jadi something yang memotivasi gua untuk work out and stay healthy and stay in shape. I think that's kind of a good thing. What do you think?
Iya, setuju. Karena cara orang memproses rasa benci, emosi di dalam diri tuh bisa beda-beda ya. Ada yang di-suppress, ada yang di-express keluar, atau ada yang menggunakan itu sebagai sesuatu untuk bertransformasi, which is also good. Yang misalnya nih, ada yang, gue punya sahabat yang ibaratnya hubungannya tuh tidak disetujui oleh papa ceweknya, papa pacarnya gitu ya, karena dia datang dari background yang financially nggak mampu gitu-gitu. he used that anger, that hatred towards si Om ini to build a business. Dan sekarang dia sukses jadi salah satu distributor gas LPG terbesar di Jakarta. Dia supply ke banyak restoran dan dia menggunakan nama mantan pacarnya sebagai merek gas tersebut. Jadi kayak that's jadi kayak dia mau tunjukin ke si Om bahwa lo tuh nyesel karena lo nggak menerima gue sebagai calon suami anak lo gitu. Jadi it's totally different. So for me personally ya, menurut gue yang healthy itu ada dua, either lo express or transform. Kalau suppress itu buat gue udah paling gak sehat karena kayaknya gue baca beberapa data atau artikel kebencian yang ditekan, dipendam, dikubur itu tuh bisa jadi critical illness sih buat badan kita gitu.
No, you know what? Actually, you're right. Ini gue ambil contoh dari ama gue sih. Ama tuh kayak nenek ya. Nenek gak sih di Indonesia? Yeah, right. Dari grandma gue ya. Jadi tuh dia tuh istri pertama dari kakek gue. Alright. Dan jadi tuh ceritanya tuh mereka they came from China, from mainland China, alright? Because like the time it was just so hard in mainland China. Now, my grandpa's family was extremely rich. Kayak like wow, like rich. Jadi itu mereka akhirnya ke Indonesia untuk mencari kehidupan yang lebih baik, kayak build a business or like something like that basically. Yeah. Nah cuman tuh my grandpa was a spoiled brat. He was just bad. Dan ama gue istri pertama kan punya anak 7.
Wow.
Satu like unfortunately because of quite many reasons, she was left in China. Okay, the rest of them they went to Indonesia. Nah di Indonesia he got some wives. Yes, plural. It was really pretty bad. So eventually dia tuh punya istri 7.
Okay, wow.
I know, right? Like it's just so fucked up. Nah, terus ya Hen ya. Nah, ama gua tuh jadi tuh korban KDRT. Kayak kekerasan rumah tangga gitu loh. So it was really bad. Like he gambled, he drank, he invited his friends to, oh my god, like to gamble in their house. So it was really pretty bad.
Wow.
Nah, ama gua tuh sebagai perempuan dari tahun segitu ya. So she was very repressed. So she had a lot of pent-up anger inside her. Yeah. Lalu kondisi yang sangat susah, lalu racism in Indonesia back then, and she couldn't even speak Indonesian all that well. Like sampai akhir hidupnya, like she really couldn't speak Indonesian all that well, honestly. A lot of pent-up anger, there was no therapy, and you know, like towards the end of her life, she actually got stroke. Like judging from the healthy lifestyle and everything, we asked several doctors like what actually happened. So mereka ngomong ini tuh karena this kind of anger and hatred and bitterness inside her that built through the years, the hardship, the stress and everything. Dan akhirnya dia dapat sakit ini, gitu. Yeah. So yang lu tadi omong itu bener banget. So guys, kalau misalnya kalian ada kemarahan apa, kayak oh, you know what? Leave it. Like find someone who is professional. Help yourself. Jangan sampai kalian tuh mendem kemarahan yang akhirnya kayak gak ada outletnya, hanya kalian marah doang, itu gak jadi motivasi. It's just like boiling inside you. Guys, it's really bad for you. Please.
Iya. Karena
gitu
kita tuh hidup kehidupan kita, termasuk tubuh kita itu didesain dalam bentuk sirkulasi. Segala sesuatu yang masuk harus dikeluarkan lagi, ya kan? Dalam tubuh, makanan kita keluar jadi feses, air yang masuk keluar jadi keringat, jadi urin gitu ya, dan lain hal ada udara masuk kita harus keluarin lagi kayak gitu-gitu. Termasuk emosi gitu. Nah, orang tuh kadang selama ini hanya menganggap yang paling penting dari dari manusia adalah tubuh. Padahal sebenarnya tubuh itu terdiri dari apa? Jiwa dan mentalnya juga, spiritualnya juga gitu. Nah, kalau emosi yang apalagi kita kan di budaya Asia, hating or ya hating is such a apa ya? It's very nggak disarankan gitu. Kayak kita tuh harus hidup tunduk, menghormati, mencintai, hidup dalam damai, berkesinambungan, tapi kita nggak boleh membenci gitu. Padahal sebenarnya benci itu bukan sesuatu yang buruk, tapi itu sebenarnya hanya emosi yang dirasakan gitu, output dari kemarahan. Nah, kalau kita ngerasain emosi marah, anger, it's very normal. Ya, tapi kita nggak boleh biar itu ngendep di dalam. Kita harus bisa proses sirkulasiin keluar, termasuk juga bukan cuma kemarahan, tapi kesedihan gitu kan. Makanya, tapi gimana nih caranya memproses kalau kesedihan kita bisa memproses keluar dengan nangis, dengan cerita ke teman gitu ya. Tapi kalau kemarahan tuh gimana? Misalnya gimana caranya memproses keluar tanpa mukul orang gitu kan. Kadang kalau udah marah banget bisa gelap mata, banting barang, apalah segala macam gitu. How do you think we can process anger without harming others?
Lu biasanya ngapain nih? Kita
Kalau
tanya dulu lu.
Kalau gua mukul mukul kasur atau mukul bantal. Kalau dulu banget
Oke.
gua bisa mukul tembok dan banting barang gitu ya karena
Mukul tembok.
iya.
Oh my god, so fucking painful. Why would you do that to yourself?
I know right, tapi ya when I was a teenagers kayak I just I don't know it nggak mikir lah anak masih remaja gitu. Terus gue pikir daripada gue mukul orang yang gue benci, gue mukul tembok aja, tapi gue sendiri yang sakit.
I mean, it's kind of sobering though. I mean,
Iya.
si rasa sakitnya it's quite sobering. So okay, guys.
Iya.
But please don't do that, okay?
Iya.
Don't hurt
Please don't do that.
yourself, please. Please don't do that.
Ya akhirnya gue mukul bantal yang lembek gitu ya, mukul kasur
Okay.
atau teriak di bantal gitu just to let out the frustration, or
Okay.
ya ranting ke teman-teman sih gitu, marah gitu ya. Or sebenarnya setelah saya mencapai usia sekian ini, what I do adalah journaling. Gila, gue udah zen banget gitu. Jadi pokoknya harus diproses keluar sih guys. Jangan kayak ditekan, dipendem, ataupun dialihkan, didistraksi dengan hal-hal yang tidak baik seperti misalnya minum alkohol gitu ya, or doing drugs, itu kan juga bisa. Kalau mau
Right.
mau didistract, menurut gue cara paling amannya adalah olahraga. Lo pas lagi lo kesel, lo nge-gym, lo lari, buat gue itu tuh kayak wah, tiba-tiba energi lebih banyak gitu.
Okay, ya, kayak lebih gitu ya, guys.
Iya, iya benar. Kalau lo gimana?
Dulu gua ini it's kind of unhealthy sih. Dulu gua tuh suka banting barang, suka lempar barang kayak gitu. Oh my god, I think I broke some mirrors and then
Sama.
broke a bed as well. Terus gua pokoknya parah dia ngerusak barang kayak gitu. Terus you know what? I was like, you know, it's not beautiful. So jadi sekarang ya kalau misalnya gua kesel banget, misalnya nih, I would just grind my ink. Jadi itu kalau misalnya kalian pernah nonton film-film Cina atau film Korea kayak gitu, kayak batu tinta yang kecil kayak gitu, like ink stick. I just grind it slowly. It's a kind of meditation. And then I would do calligraphy, like Chinese calligraphy with brush, basically.
Right.
So I would write down a word, like for example, like patience in Chinese, or like perseverance, or serenity gitu loh. Gue bakal tulis kayak 1000 kali atau 100 kali kayak gitu. Pokoknya sampai gue bener-bener kayak calm down, and then my emotion just tempered down, like just to achieve that kind of serene space in me. Then I would stop doing that. So jadinya biasanya sih gue melakukan sesuatu yang repetitif dan dalam jangka waktu tertentu, something that is that slows me down, basically. Like in my case, it's calligraphy, or I would cook something difficult. Jadi kan itu kan kayak repetitive task ya.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you cannot rush things and then expect even cuts. Maybe some people can, but I cannot. So jadinya that's what I usually do. Or I would just play piano, play music, play something really. So that's what I did. Tried and tested. Pas lagi gue berantem, pas lagi gue kesel banget nih sama this ex of mine, this guy whom I live with together. Waktu gue lagi kesel, that's what I did. I just continuously wrote one thing obsessively for several hundred times, really.
Wow.
Gitu.
Gila.
That's what I do. I think that's okay, right? It's not destructive. Ya gak sih?
Iya. And anyway, pokoknya kalau menurut gue selama itu nggak destructive and selama itu tidak harming other people, it's totally fine.
Ya, itu penting sih guys. Jangan menyakiti siapapun dan juga jangan menyakiti diri kalian sendiri. Soalnya gue punya temen nih, dia marah banget, and he angry drove basically. Jadi dia tuh nyetir mobil pas lagi dia marah kayak gitu. He died of accident.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah. So, jadi tuh dia nyetir kencang banget, cepet banget, and his car hit a pillar, hit a pole, and he died.
Oh wow, that's sad.
Not worth it.
Iya.
Not worth it. So just don't do that. Karena jadi tuh ada saying ya. I think it's from Buddha. I saw it somewhere online. Jadi waktu kalian benci dan dendam sama satu orang, dan kalian biarkan itu kayak brewing inside you, it's actually like you drinking poison, and then you expect somebody else dies from it, but you're the one who drinks the poison.
True.
So
Intinya,
waktu gua lihat itu, I was like, he was right,
Iya.
Karena
Iya.
yang kayak ama gue tadi, dia kesel banget sama with my grandpa, and then like the anger was boiling inside her, but then she was the one who suffered eventually. She was the one who got sick. So there you go.
Intinya nggak ada gunanya ya.
Ada Hen, kayak yang tadi yang tadi kita diskusiin, itu tuh tergantung gimana kita prosesnya, ya gak sih? Kalau misalnya you just let it simmer boiling inside you, then it's just harmful for you.
It's gonna be useful if you can transform it into building something, ya kan?
Exactly. Jadi tuh guys, menurut gue ya, let's say that anger and hatred inside you is like fire. The same fire can burn down the whole forest, but at the same fire, you can use it for cooking or for lighting. There you go.
Nah, kebanyakan orang nih ya merasa bahwa marah atau kebencian itu either ditekan, di-avoid, or dikeluarkan, di-confront, ya kan? Tapi sebenarnya ada pilihan lain yang kadang orang suka lupa, adalah you can actually walk away from the person or from the trigger or from the source. Cuman I don't know why kayak walking away itu biasanya di-perceive as something lemah atau takut, penakut gitu. Padahal for me walking away can be more empowering than confronting something. What do you think about that?
Menurut gue itu bener sih Han. Kayak banyak orang ngomongnya, pengecut, lu kayak lu kabur gitu aja. But then honestly, it's a way of self-love. It's like protecting our peace of mind. So I totally support that. Like if you think that the situation is not worth fighting for, might as well just leave it, Kalau misalnya kayak no value added, never mind, just walk away. Terus gue juga pengen nambahin satu hal lagi sih Hen, ini kayak regarding hatred and anger ya, karena mereka kayak they're kind of related.
Iya.
Menurut gue itu penting juga kalau kita tuh mindful sama why we're angry.
Benar.
Are we do we hate because we get hurt, or are we angry because we actually want the person or we want the situation of or ourselves to be better. Jadi I think it's important for us to really know ourselves gitu loh Hen. Kenapa kita marah? Kenapa kita benci? That is the starting point on how and when to transform that negative feeling to be the fuel to generate something positive from that. Gitu sih Hen.
Bener. Jadi sebelum marah tuh ya idealnya adalah pause dulu lagi-lagi. I know it's very difficult to do. And then ya kalaupun lo udah terlanjur meledak ya nggak apa-apa juga. Tapi after that do the homework adalah pause and ask yourself, why are you angry? Why are you mad about that? What kind of behavior, what kind of word that triggers your anger gitu kan.
True.
Supaya apa? Supaya lo bisa evolve and be a better person the next time you are ada di situasi yang sama gitu. Karena kalau enggak, situasi tersebut tuh akan terjadi lagi and you will always gonna respond the same way. Hasilnya sama lagi, outputnya sama, and you're just gonna spend your life repeating the same cycles for years gitu.
True. Jadi guys, waktu kalian marah ya, first of all, pause. Do not destroy anything. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt others. Pause. Lalu begitu kalian udah tenang, yang kayak si Henry tadi ngomong nih, just ask yourself, why are you mad? Why are you angry? Why do you hate it? Do you hate the person? Do you hate what the person says or does? Or do you hate the situation? And why? How does it affect you? Gitu loh. Jadi kalian kupas pertanyaan-pertanyaan ini and find a way to move forward. Something that is healthy and good for you. Jadi itu inilah dimana titik si rasa yang negatif ini jadi you can transform it into something positive. Gitu.
Karena sebenarnya ya Franz, kalau menurut gue pribadi, yang namanya marah atau kebencian itu adalah momen dalam hidup dimana kita tuh kayak lagi dikasih kaca bahwa sebenarnya berarti ada bagian dari diri kita yang kita harus ubah gitu loh. Kita justru ditunjukin the shadow side of ourselves that we need to improve or we need to grow and evolve, tapi kitanya ya belum ada di tahap itu gitu, ngerti nggak? Jadi pada saat kita marah atau ke-trigger, sekarang gue udah bisa mikir kayak berarti isu ini tuh gue belum fully evolve nih, gue masih marah di hal yang sama nih gitu.
Atau waktu kita marah ya, it can actually like show our vulnerable side. Misalnya nih, gue tuh ternyata sensi di hal ini.
Iya.
Gitu. Karena misalnya nih ada orang yang kayak they can just like tolerate some degree of disrespect, kayak being ignored atau kayak being disrespected, being given some cold shoulder for kayak gitu. Nah, gua jujur ya, gua nggak bisa kayak gitu. And it actually really triggers me. Dan I'm actually working on it. Maybe it's nothing personal. Maybe it's just like different culture. Maybe it is something else. Maybe it is nothing personal. Gitu sih Hen. So you're right. Jadi itu like something unresolved or like something that is our soft spot really. Gitu. Pesan terakhir Hen buat kayak this Valentine Day. It's a celebration of love. Now we are talking about anger and hatred. Pesan lu apa nih buat orang-orang yang lagi dengerin podcast ini?
Anger and hatred is not always a bad thing. You just need yourself to feel it and also process it the right way without harming others. Dan mungkin biasanya in most of the times ketika lo belajar apa sih source of anger and source of hatred itu, you can learn more about yourself and love yourself better gitu.
Well said.
How about you?
Okay, mirip sih. I just wish everyone first of all celebrate the love inside you, but this Valentine Day, and also do not despise yourself or criticize yourself too hard when you actually dislike something or hate something, but then instead pakai ini untuk menjadi something that is motivating for you, to be your fuel to move forward and be a better person. That is the first step, is love yourself, know yourself, and analyze your anger and hatred. And moving forward, I hope that you guys will get better and use this as fuel
Yes.
towards better
Pokoknya,
future.
Yeah. Always choose growth. See.
Yes, because you guys are so amazing. Choose your own growth. It's not for anyone else. It's just for you.
Yes. All right.
All right, Henry, makasih.
Thank
and happy
you.
Valentine.
Happy Valentine. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.